do battle with the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Giovani Bernard. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play. Keenum to Thomas. 48 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone, it's Keenum. He spots Henderson open left side. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Giovani Bernard. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. 5. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
Richmond.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Watson. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a third down. Out of the gun, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
First carry for Devontae Booker. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On the toss, Bernard. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Let's go, let's go. Stand down. 53. Run. Like 20. Run.
Throwing on third down, Keenum. Looking deep for Demarius. Got his man, it's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demarius Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now a toss play to Bernard. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. On second down, here's Keenum. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long. It's Keenum. Throw left side complete. It's Henderson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
On second down, here's Miller. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football. Now a first down throw, Watson. And that's complete. It's Allington. Room to run past midfield. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, the receiver won in a big way.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Richmond.
From the gun, here's Watson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by a former first-round pick, Shane Ray. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
We got three.
Again, here's Bernard. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Tackle made by Whitney Mercilus.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that his defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier to shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Hey, 4 down. Roger. Here goes the high. Roger. Stand down. Watch what that high. Right down. Very left. Safety's creeping.
And that'll set him back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Stand down.
On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now out comes Houston. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Todd Davis. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, twisting away. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Now he'll escape to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Griffin. That one goes for 24 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And now here is another interception. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point from McManus is good. And a rout is on here in this 1st half. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. On the right side, this is Miller. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it a second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Here's Watson now on second down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On first down, Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Griffin. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up on a former first-round pick, Shane Ray. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard.
Frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Keenum now to throw. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. And his throw is incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Watson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. On 1st down, it's Watson. It fights him off, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw on 2nd is Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Watson now on 1st and 10. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. Watson now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
Richmond. 2 jet. Check.
Watson on 1st down. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field.
Tiger.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Green the line! Green the line!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
They'll run for it. This is Foreman. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuff from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. He'll get it up the middle. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Third down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll begin here with Bernard. And some room to maneuver. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Let's go, let's go. Mary left, Mary left. Tight end right. 22. Here we go, boys.
Now Keenum. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The former #1 overall pick Jadeveon Clowney in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Ellington. One of the longest punts in the last decade or so, 80-plus yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Domata with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Out of the gun, Watson. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. And bulldozing his way through. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy.
Churning, and he lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. They were direct with us. They said last week his 3 fumbles. We want that to be an aberration. Another one right there, though.
And it's going to drive them crazy because we saw them coaching, and all they talked about is the 4 points of pressure when carrying the ball. Fingertips, forearms, biceps, sternum or chest, keeping it high and tight, and they're not getting that done.
All teams go over those points of pressure?
They go over them all the time, and sometimes it becomes 5 points of pressure when you bring the second arm in to cradle the football.
Here's Watson. He sets to fire deep. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far, nothing going right offensively. Throwing again is Watson. He's going to let this one go deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Watson throwing on first down. Dumps it complete to Miller. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To the right side, complete to Miller. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Watson on third down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it fourth down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10. So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On second down, here's Keenum. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of the defense.
Keenum now to throw. He spots Henderson open left side. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Keenum now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's first and 10 here. Keenum on first down. Shakes off the sack. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Finding room inside the 40. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
Singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And last time this unit was out here, Costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Target. Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Come back. 51.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Caught here by Griffin. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Going deep for Hopkins. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 51 yards.
Target.
From the red zone now, Watson underneath for Miller. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Come back. Hey. You got three. Three down.
To the air yet again, Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Again, it's Watson. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried or concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
22. Let's go.
Throwing now. Keenum. Able to shake him off. Now he's flushed out left. And he's got some space here. Finding some room at midfield. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Let's go. Mary left. Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right. Hey, it's yo.
On first down, Keenum. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henderson. And